Hello everybody, GamingMagic13 here.
And GroupUnicorn71.
And welcome back to some more Halo Infinite Versus, where last time we both had a very painful experience dealing with the conservatory mission. Well, I had a painful time, more so than him, I think, because I got my ass handed to me on a nice silver platter, specifically for the last two encounters. The skimmer wave defense room, and then the final battle against those two scrap cannon chieftains that just are massive bullet sponges. So that was nice. But we're done with that now. We've made it through the conservatory, and now we're ready to go take on the spire itself, which will hopefully be significantly less painful. Than what we did last time. Honestly, I think I've just come to absolutely despise the conservatory. Because every time I've played through the game, I've had a miserable time playing through that mission. It's just that, really. Because every time I get out of the conservatory and I'm facing down the spire, I just wanted to stop playing. So, because for as epic as that Harbinger introduction cutscene is, it's not enough to mitigate how utterly painful oh dear god, to mitigate how painful that final battle is. Also, the enemies respawn for both of us in this, because there's a massive area you have to fight your way through before you get inside the spire. The enemies respawned. I'm not gonna. We've decided that I'm not making either of us fight them again, just because the rule I established is that once you kill the enemies once, if they respawn, you don't need to fight them again. Problem is that it becomes problematic because there's so many goddamn snipers in the area that trying to navigate anywhere is a giant pain in the ass. So that's a nuisance. Also, I never asked you, what are your actual thoughts on the skimmers as enemies? Those giant, the floating drone things that show up in that one big wave defense room.
Oh, they're kind of annoying.
Yeah, I don't.
They're kind of like the drones.
Yeah.
Like exactly like the drones, actually.
That's basically
really annoying.
Exactly what they are. The drones from Halo 2 and 3, except significantly more annoying in just about every way imaginable. Because they all. It's mainly just that one specific room too, because that one room, they all have shock rifles, which makes it even worse. Because when shock damage in and of itself is a bit annoying, because it deals damage to you over time. But so when every single enemy in the area is able to deal shock damage to you, it makes it even worse. So and I just. Yeah. I don't know, I think the skimmers are a very underwhelming addition to the game. Because their intro cutscene makes them seem like they're going to be this big dramatic force you have to face off against. It's like, this is the new big enemy. Well, how they kind of circle down from the ceiling and surround you initially. But they go down as easily as the drones did from Halo 2, and for all intents and purposes, they are just reskinned drones. But god, they're just such a massive pain in the ass. I don't know what happened there. Okay, I've taken out the hunters. I assume you've done so as well?
I'm not, because I don't know how to kill these things.
Oh. You mentioned, last time you said there was a rocket launcher to the side that you could use, right?
Yeah, but I have to kill a brute there, and instead of it being like 3 brutes I have to kill the whole damn army again, so...
I feel that pain. Trust me. I absolutely feel that pain. Okay. I also wish that you could take the Marines up with you, because that's one thing I recommend, is I brought a team of Marines with me to tackle the hunters, and they killed them very quickly. So I would advise, that'd be my pro tip to you.
That's smart.
Also, this will be heavily outdated by the time this comes out, but someone predicted what this series is. By which I mean... I've mentioned, I've teased that you and I have been recording a secret project for a while now, but I haven't actually said what it is. But someone actually picked up the pieces and managed to deduce exactly what we're doing. And I can show the comment on screen now for confirmation purposes, but basically, in one of my previous live streams, I mentioned how I had been watching some series on YouTube called Versus, where it's what we're doing now, which is 2 people racing to see who can get to the end of the game first. And so that was just to plant the seeds of what a Versus series is in the minds of my viewers. And then I also mentioned that my goal was to get this I also mentioned that it's going to take a long time to edit and render, because it's going to take essentially twice the amount of time to render any given video. And then the final thing I said was that I'm hoping to have the series start releasing by May 2nd, because I imagine we'll probably be done recording this by the end of the month, you think? I imagine?
Yeah.
So, and then, but then we have to get the footage over to me, I have to edit it all, so I'm gonna target early May for a release date. We'll see if I can make that work. But the reason I said May 2nd is because that is the projected end date for Season 1 of Infinite's multiplayer, and by extension, likely the start of Season 2, so... And the person picked up on 2 of those 3 details, and used them to deduce that we're doing this series, Halo Infinite Versus, so... I was impressed by that. Very much impressed by that. One more thing. Remember last time we recorded, I mentioned how my theory was that the excavation site mission was originally supposed to be a Scarab battle?
Uh-huh.
Well, some concept art's been released for Halo Infinite recently, and one of the concept art features a Scarab, which gives a bit more credence to my idea that it might have at one point been supposed to be a Scarab battle, which would have been cool to see, but, you know, there's always DLC, so maybe we'll see more of that in the future.
Yep.
What I was less pleased with seeing, though...
these hunters are extremely annoying.
Oh, you haven't even seen the red hunter. Well, I mean, you have seen them because you've beaten the game, but these hunters pale in comparison to the red hunters.
Yeah, I know. The
Like
red hunters are extremely annoying.
I will say this, actually, before I lead the witness on this one, what do you think's worse? Halo Infinite's red hunters or Halo 5's standard hunters?
Infinite's red.
Really?
Although Halo 5 does come close because Halo 5 is Halo 5, but...
Yeah. I think I'd still... I mean, they're both really tough. I think I would give an ever-so-slight edge to Halo 5, if only because... Also, I forgot to use my Spartan cores to upgrade... Never mind. It's fine. It comes... I'm gonna give Halo 5 a slight edge in terms of being worse, just because the Gatling gun thing that the hunters have strapped to their arms just locks onto you, and you basically can't avoid it no matter what. Whereas, at least with the grapple in this game, it's a bit easier to dodge their attacks, but in Halo 5, you just have no hope. You're just screwed, and as I've been mentioning in previous episodes, because of the way that game is balanced around having the revive mechanic, it kind of artificially buffs the health and damage of enemies to account for the fact that you can be revived, so I mean, to be fair, we're kind of splitting hairs, but I do think Halo 5's hunters are ever so slightly worse.
Yeah.
But, you know. Okay. So, something else I mentioned last time, actually, as we were recording, the news came out, or the article came out, talking about how the people who made the showrunner behind the Halo TV series did not watch didn't even look at any of the games when making the series. Which, you know, is always something you want to see when they're adapting the games. You always like to see how they didn't even pay attention to them whatsoever. That's my favorite thing. But there's actually more that's been come out about that recently, which is that apparently Pablo Schreiber, who's the guy who's playing the Master Chief in the show, he has said something that is rather condescending to people, because a lot of people are not happy with the fact that Chief's going to be showing his face off in the TV show. His response was, "I'm sorry, but it's a very basic first step for a TV show to take to show the main character's face in order to tell an in-depth emotional story." Which, referring to a creative decision as a basic first step is A, wrong, and B, condescending to the people who are avidly against the idea of Chief showing his face in the show. But I think my bigger issue is the fact that Halo has demonstrated time and time again that it doesn't need to show Chief's face in order to have an emotional story, because Halo 4 and Halo Infinite, for that matter, and even bits in Halo 2 and 3 have shown Chief being very vulnerable and emotional, and they didn't need to show his face to do it. In fact, I might even say it's a testament to the person who does the motion capture performance for the Chief, and Steve Downes, the voice of the Chief, that they're able to convey so much emotion without us being able to see their face ever at all. So, you know, I'm not very optimistic for the show, in case you can't tell. I have very little expectations for it, but I'm still obligated to give it a shot and see. Maybe they'll surprise me, who knows? Maybe they'll surprise me and it'll be a really faithful, awesome adaptation that I can sing the praises of. I strongly doubt it, but you never know. Speaking of adapting things, though, how much do you remember about the Telltale's Walking Dead series with Clementine and all that?
I remember quite a bit.
Okay, so in that case, if I were to ask you to tell me some of the core principles of Clementine's character, what would you say they are? Like, what would you say she values most above all else?
I would say, like, a good, like, friends or family bond, but that's also kind of, like, tested throughout the whole series.
Yeah, so excuse me, my throat just gagged on me. What I would say is that her number one priority throughout the series has always been, AJ. Ever since AJ was born, like, she's essentially become a surrogate mother figure to him, and the final season especially was all about defending Ericsson's boarding school and kind of trying to make that into a safe, stable home so that she doesn't have to constantly be on the run, so that she can try to give AJ something of a normal-ish childhood. So, and that's kind of the reason why everyone loved the final season so much, was that after years of being on the run from everything, but be it rivaling factions and, of course, the walkers themselves, they finally found a place to call a home that's safe, defendable, and stable. So, you know, a lot of people were like, hey, this is a really good ending. I'm really happy the series ended in the way that it did. But the reason why I'm bringing this up is because it's recently come to my attention that they essentially threw that ending out the window, because there was apparently a comic book that I somehow missed. I don't know how I missed this, but they recently released a comic book. I think it was last summer, actually, they released this. That, the story is that Clementine leaves the boarding school and abandons AJ. She gives no reason. She just up and leaves one day and goes out on her own. But, like, the whole idea behind the final season was that she leaves, or she finally has a stable place to call a home with AJ, and then in the comic book she's like, lol, no, see you guys later. So that kind of made me a bit mad, that's for damn sure. I don't like it when they try to continue story, because, I mean, obviously there's a reason financially for them to want to keep her story going, because obviously everyone loves Clementine. They want to rake in more money from that IP, but I don't like it when, in the process of doing so, they have to kind of betray some of the core principles of what made the character so appealing in the first place, so... yeah, that's my rant for the day, I guess, is on Clementine's portrayal in that comic book. And then because like I said, the reason why is that they want to do that because they're coming out with a new novel this summer about Clementine, and they clearly want to be able to continue her story, because the way the final season ended, it's pretty definitive. It's like they have a home, they're set, they're done, the story's over. So then to be able to keep that moving forward, they have to get her out of that location. They have to get her back on the road so they can have new, wacky, zany, fun adventures. But
yeah, it makes no sense.
It's annoying.
Because it's like the whole point was that she, like, barely trusts anyone, but when she does trust someone, it's like good trust. And, yeah, like, you don't just leave people you trust.
If you've done enough to earn Clementine's trust, you can bet she's going to stay loyal to you forever.
Yeah.
Clem's trust is undying and more substantive and meaningful than basically anybody else. But hey, maybe they'll, ever the optimist, maybe they'll surprise me and they'll reveal some secret delusion backstory. Like, maybe if I want to go maximum Steelman and try to figure out a way that this could be actually good, maybe what's going to end up being revealed is that in the book, it's like, hey, Clem found some secret thing that could make the home even better for AJ, but she doesn't want to risk the safety of the people she loves, so she's going by herself to get it, and then she comes back, and then everyone lives happily ever after. Maybe that's what they're going for. I don't know. That's me giving a lot of benefit of the doubt. But we'll have to wait and see. Also, I'm finally in the epic Chief skydiving, or sorry, rather, Chief falling with style moment, where he dives into the, this cutscene is phenomenal, when he dives into the Pelican, or like, he jumps off the spire, and just skydives, and then the pilot comes in at the last second, flies towards the ground, opens the back door, Chief dives inside, grabs a hold, and then he swoops up at the last possible second to swerve away from the spire as it collapses behind them. It is... The cinematics team in this game deserves a standing ovation, I swear.
Yeah. And you're also ahead of me in game progress and this, because I just got to, like, where I activate the boss fight.
I really like the... I mean, he's not a particularly hard boss fight. I'd say... Would you say he's the easiest in the game?
Yeah, he's one of the easier ones.
Because he's not very aggressive. He kind of just hovers around the perimeter of the area, so he's... And there's a lot of cover, so it's not too challenging. But I still like it a lot because the music is... It doesn't sound like it would ordinarily work well for a Halo game because it's very synthetic in nature. It kind of sounds like something that would play during a Portal game. But it fits the Forerunner aesthetic and the Sentinel style really, really nicely. So that was cool to see. Oh, and it was also kind of timely to finish up what I was saying about Clementine. It's kind of timely that I found out about the book when I did, because just today that we're recording this, actually, I released my top 20 favorite games video, and The Walking Dead final season is among them. So it was kind of interesting timing that the day before I uploaded it was when I figured that out, or when I learned about the book. But hey, there's not much that's more satisfying than when you finally finish a video project and you can delete the files off your computer that were taking up so much space. Because if you were to take a shot in the dark, how much space would you say was taken up on my computer from those from the files it took to make that video? It was about a 40-minute video covering 20 different games.
I would say about 500 gigabytes.
Yeah, try 1.7 terabytes.
Oh Jesus! I was gonna guess a terabyte, but I'm like, nah, that's a little bit too high. I guess I was wrong.
Well, the reason why is because some of the games were VR games, and recording VR games takes up a chunk of storage.
That's true.
Like hundreds of gigabytes for just a single recording session. Mm-hmm. So that's a large reason why. So it's very... Because I was kind of running out of storage space, because I'm recording a lot of stuff right now. Obviously, we're recording this, and I'm recording my main Let's Plays and some footage for future videos. So I'm like, I have like megabytes left. What are some temporary files I can delete until I tie myself over a little while longer so I can release this video and then be done with it. So I'm happy to see that because it's been pretty positively received so far. Although I will say, so it's kind of annoying whenever you release a video and it seems like people kind of skip to the end. For lack of, like, especially with ranking videos and stuff like that, it seems like more often than not people are interested in just what was ranked at the top, or did my favorite game get onto the list and stuff like that, because within minutes of the video going live, there was already someone who commented about something that was revealed at the 40-minute mark. So it's like, because I stayed up, I didn't mention this to you, but last night was a tumultuous journey, because I had to, I wanted to get the video out today, because I promised it would be out on today as we're recording this. But I was running behind. I got caught up with some other stuff happening in real life that I'm sure you know about. I got caught up with that, so I didn't really have time to edit it. But I wanted to stay true to my word and commit to getting it out on time. But in doing so, I pushed myself. I've been pretty good this year with not pushing myself too hard with video making. I haven't really pulled any late-nighters or all-nighters or anything like that. Last night I did stay up until like 2 a.m. just to make sure I could get the editing done on time.
Okay.
Because I put a lot of effort into it to make sure it's like I was really proud of the video. I was really looking forward to seeing what people would say. So it's just kind of disheartening to see someone immediately skip to the end and just kind of like skim through it. But you know, I guess it's just the nature of it being on YouTube. I suppose. Although I will say, there was one person I saw who, because there was an argument in my Discord server earlier this week, talking about which game in the 8, because the rule I implemented was I only allowed myself to place one game per series on the list, because otherwise there'd be a whole lot of Halo games on there. So I placed the rule of only one game per series allowed on the list to try to prevent it from clogging up with too much of the same thing. So there was discussion of like, oh, well, which Ace Attorney game is he going to pick? And there was one person who was extremely confident that it was going to be the third game, and it was, and he was correct. But as soon as, literally minutes after the video went live, he immediately took to my Discord server to say, ha, told you guys it was that one. It's like, okay, you think you're really special for predicting this, don't you? When I've made it clear for a long time that I've always cited that one as my favorite of the bunch, but yes, it's just YouTube comments. I've taken serious consideration to cut back on the amount of comments I read, just because it sometimes feels like it's detrimental to your mental health to read too many of them. I mean, it's nowhere near as bad as Twitter, I'll say that much. Twitter is just an absolute shitfest all around. But I guess it's just online discourse in general. Because when I went to Universal with the GFGov 45 towards the end of last year, back in August, I was almost surprised by how kind people were. Because it had been a while since we had gotten a chance to do something together in the real world, especially of that scale, like going to Universal. So, when we interacted with everyone, like the waiters for the restaurants, the people working the attractions, just everybody we met, we didn't meet anybody who was even remotely rude to us, so I was just like, is this what it's like to speak with kind people? I kind of forgot what that experience was like, to be honest with you. Because when you spend so much of your life online, you can kind of forget that most people are actually kind of rather nice. Like, in the real world, you'll find the occasional dud. But for the most part, people are generally nice, and even if they have negative things to say about you, they usually keep it to themselves and put on a positive outlook. So, it was just, like, I remember saying to her in the moment, it's like, everyone here is so nice. I forgot this is what the world was like before the pandemic happened and online discourse became much more relevant. Because I don't remember, online comments didn't used to bother me as much as they somewhat do now. I think it's just because of the pandemic, so much of interaction nowadays has been moved to online, so it takes a majority of the chunk of how we interact with people, which kind of makes it stick out more, I guess. Whereas previously, when we were interacting in the real world on a more regular basis, most of my community interactions happened in person, whereas it's more a rarity that happens more than anything else. Yeah, the conclusion of this long rant going on is that most people are nice, which is good. Anyway, I'm doing E3 stuff now, which is pretty neat. By which I mean I'm doing the Pelican Down mission. Did I just get stuck? I don't think I did. That they showed off during the Xbox Game Showcase in 2020. I almost said 2017. I don't know why I almost said that. Please get out of there, Marines. Oh Lord. Which means I'm also gonna get to meet Craig. I think I actually see Craig right there, and he's trying to kill me. Honestly, if you get killed by Craig, it's almost a blessing to get killed by such a legend like Craig himself. I mean, here the circumstances surrounding the birth of that meme are a bit undesirable, because the way the Craig meme was even born in the first place is because some people went frame by frame through the Halo Infinite gameplay demo, and they just... Because that's what... A trend I really hate nowadays is that whenever a trailer for anything comes out, people who are not interested in the game, or specifically in regards to console fanboys, it happens on both ends of the spectrum. I got killed by my own blast coil. If ever a trailer for a Sony game comes out, you'll find Xbox fanboys immediately looking to skim through the trailer and find the one frame that looks low poly when you zoom in to 1000% that they can use as a negative quality against the game. And the same thing for reverse. Like when Halo Infinite's gameplay trailer came out, PlayStation fanboys immediately took to Twitter to skim through the trailer, and then in doing so they found the Craig. They found the Craig shot where obviously the Brood is zoomed in really close to the camera, and you can see the kind of lack of detail in the facial animations, or just, I guess, the facial quality, the texture quality is what the phrase I'm looking for here. And it's funny, like, when you see the image, it's obviously very funny, and I'm glad 343 kind of took it on the chin and embraced the meme, rather. But I hate the mindset that people on both fanboy camps have, where it's thinking that finding the one frame in a 3-minute long, or sorry, I think in an 8-minute long gameplay demo where the poly count is rather undesirable, and using that as an indictment against the entire game seems a little hyperbolic, to say the least. So, because I mean, to like, there's it's very easy to make things look bad with a pause button and zooming in. Like, I don't know that there's a video on YouTube where you can see people's faces, I should clarify, where if you go through with, like, fine scrubbing and with a pause button, that you won't find some undesirable shots from people constantly. Like, it's just the nature of human facial, or human in real life facial expressions, and then obviously simulated facial expressions in the medium of a video game. It's just, that's just how reactions happen. Things are gonna, with the way the human face moves, it's easy to find screenshots that look a bit wonky when you zoom through it like that. So, how's I think it's Adjutant Resolution is his name. How's he treating you?
Who?
The Sentinel guy you fight in the top of the spire.
I already killed him. I'm on the island now.
Yeah, so you're in the same mission as I am. I went in the same order that the guy did when he in the E3 demo, in terms of doing the AA batteries. You can do them in any order you want, but I always like to do it in the same order that was shown off in the trailer, just to kind of recapture that feeling that it gave off. I don't know. And then I'm probably gonna do a sweep clockwise around the island to get to all the all the things, all the anti-air guns in that order. It's my game plan. Which one are you headed towards?
The one on the far right, I think.
Oh, so we're going to totally opposite ones. I'm on the far left and you're on the far right, in terms of where the AA guns are. Switch to my weapon, please. Thank you. Because the one he did in the demo was the one on the far left. So I always do this one first, just to kind of. I'm not playing it the same way. Like in fact, I'm sure somewhere on YouTube someone's already done a recreation of I keep calling it E3. It wasn't E3 because in 2020 E3 didn't happen. So there was a bunch of alternatives to it where every company was doing their own version of the showcase. Not that it mattered not that it mattered for Sony, I should say, because for some reason that still baffles me, Sony just refuses to participate in EA anymore, which I don't. E3. Which I don't really understand why, because it seems like only beneficial to your company and its products to participate in the biggest gaming media show all year long. Like, you'd think it'd be only beneficial to you'd want to show off what you've been working on to the world after all that time. But they've been, I mean, even because Nintendo does their Nintendo Directs, but they still participate in the I have no weapons. Oh god. Ugh. They still participate in the E3, they just show a direct off. I got an achievement. What did I get an achievement for? For deploying the drop wall 50 times, apparently. Do I have any Spartan? Do I have enough for an upgrade? Oh, I have way more than enough for an upgrade. Oh god, hi, what the hell? Elite? Can we cool it? Cool it, pal. Man, dynamo grenades are just busted as hell. Both in multiplayer and campaign, dynamo grenades are just absolutely overpowered. I always try to, you always want to try to keep a hold of them if you can. Oh. So, I also forgot to mention about the person who guessed, what the Halo Infinite versus series is going to be. No one knows how to spell your name, from what I've noticed.
My name?
Yeah, people think it's spelled N-I-E-L.
Oh yeah, people don't know. I don't know. It's very odd.
I mean, it goes back as far as 8th grade, when our Algebra 1 teacher thought you were Neo.
But that was a good nickname. It wasn't. At least she didn't spell wrong. She just gave me a cool nickname.
Yeah, I mean, it worked out.
Some people just don't know how to spell.
Yeah, because that wasn't a case of her not spelling correctly. It was just her not reading it properly because her, eyesight and all that. But it worked out for the best because it's the same name as the star of the Matrix movie. So, oh, by the way, did you ever see the new Matrix movie that came out at the end of last year?
No, I have not.
I haven't either, but I have not heard great things about it, so I'm kind of disincentivized from watching it. Because I've heard it's not super great, which doesn't surprise me, honestly, because more often than not, as we were mentioning earlier, whenever a studio tries to continue an already concluded story, it doesn't tend to end well.
Yeah.
Also, I'm getting Escherum's E3 speech. Call it E3 again. The E3 speech in the first AA gun. By the way, did you get a glitch when you played through this that you couldn't do the guns in the order you wanted to?
No.
So, when I first played through this game, I wanted to do it in the order that they did it in the trailer initially, like what I'm doing right now. So I went to the west gun first, which is where I am right now. But when I got into the room, because all three guns have the same room where you hit the button and then Escherum talks to you. When I got into the room, there was no button to press, which was unfortunate. Like, I couldn't, because I was confused. So I was like, well, how do I actually do, like, mechanically, how do I shut down the gun? There's no button to press. I thought I was just an idiot and I just couldn't see what it was talking about. But then I looked it up and it said that there was supposed to be a button there and it just wasn't there. So, yeah, that's how that went down. Unfortunately. But thankfully, I've only ever experienced that glitch a single time, and it has not happened to me since then. I didn't win oh god. Apparently there was a sniper in round that I did not see. It only ever happened to me once, and never again since then. But it was definitely annoying, because the reason why that was annoying is because I had to go do the other AA guns first, which wouldn't have been so bad were it not for the fact that the enemies at the first gun respawned when I came back. So I essentially had to fight the same battle twice. Just because the gun glitched out on me.
Nice.
Which has been unfortunate. Man, the equipment switcher is the bane of my existence. I keep thinking I have the grapple, and then I don't. And then I just throw out a drop wall randomly instead, or deploy a threat sensor when I don't want to. But it is nice to finally at least have all the equipment. That's good. Okay, how am I doing on progress? Got 3 of those. Alright, think I'm good to go to the next one. I'm going to the waterfall. I do like the sound a lot, though, because it's technically a very by-the-books, the typical rule of 3 in video games. Do the 3 things to progress with the story. But I'm a big fan of the light. It feels very unique in terms of how to explore the kind of, I'm trying to figure out how to describe it. The amplified biomes in Minecraft, where everything is just amplified tenfold, and the mountains are way higher, the valleys are way lower, and all that stuff?
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what this island feels like, with how tall the mountains are surrounding this one long valley in the middle. Because a lot of people, I think I mentioned this before, a lot of people will talk about how the environments in Infinite's Zeta Halo open world environment kind of blend together. But I think that's a very generic summation of what it is, because it does all have the same general vibe of Pacific Northwest grassy environments, but that doesn't mean it's all the same. Like, there's plenty of sort of fallen areas where the Banished have sort of chopped down all the wildlife, and it's very gray and abandoned. There's some swampy environments. There's heavy forests. There's grassland. There's a lot of sub-biomes within the overarching biome that I feel like don't get a lot of attention, because it's very easy to summarize it all as just being the same biome when you don't look at it much deeper than that. Of course, it would have been it would have been nice to get a beach environment or or a snow level would be awesome. Snow levels are... I had the wrong grenade out. That's fine. Made it work. To get a snow level or a beach level or something like that. Because the Sonic Cartographer in Combat Evolved and Assault of the Control Room in Combat Evolved are both great levels. But I'm always a person who values the design of the levels more so than the aesthetic of the levels. By which I mean, if Infinite was full of different aesthetically themed environments, but they were all very lackluster in terms of the design, they were all very flat, lifeless area to fight and explore, I think that would have been more underwhelming than a game where everything sort of looks similar, but they all have very unique design in terms of the actual layout of the levels. If that makes sense. Because I feel like, especially recently, games, well, just media in general, has been placing a lot of heightened importance on the visual presentation of their games. Because a lot of people value how something looks superficially above all else. It's also very easy to show off graphics, and it's what people took the most issue with in the E3. I keep calling it E3. It wasn't E3. It was the Xbox Game Showcase or whatever. People place a lot of faith in, or place a lot of heavy emphasis on how things visually appear. So, you know, I think a lot of companies seem to prioritize that above all else in terms of making sure the game looks good before making sure it plays well. I mean, obviously not all developers do this, but it feels like some of them have, because they know that's where the most amount of mainstream attention would have been played. Because I can guarantee you, if Infinite looked the way it does today in that initial E3 demo, but the gameplay looked just crap, I don't think people would have really cared all that much. I think it largely would have either flown under the radar, or people just would have been like, yeah, it looks great. Because I mean, I've seen a lot of mainstream game journalists, goddammit, Jocko Sniper, look at stuff like that and say to themselves, oh, this looks great, so it must be great, but it's not. Graphics don't correlate to how well the game's gonna actually play, which sucks. Anyway, I haven't checked in with you in a while. How things going over there for you? How's your AA gun mission going?
I got one down, but this hunter's being really annoying.
Oh yeah, the one at the far right gun, the one on the east, has those hunters, which are a bit annoying to deal with. I mean, I do like that they gave the hunters a kind of mini-boss feel, where because, like, if you remember in Combat Evolved, the hunters just went down with a single pistol shot, which is not, it's very, kind of, this phrase gets tossed around a lot, but ludonarrative dissynchronicity, or, ludonarrative dissonance, sorry, where you're told the hunters are the most badass of them all, and they can ream you in seconds, and then they die to a single pistol shot, seems very, inconsistent with how you expect hunters to behave. But on the other end of the spectrum, you have things like Halo 5, where it's just so absurdly overpowered that there's just no way to, there's nothing you can do except hope and revive. So I think Infinite has largely struck a balance in terms of making them feel like a viable threat, but not making them feel too overpowered. Maybe slightly. I think if I were to make one change, because you know how hunters typically have their weakness in the back. Like you have to try to bait them to turn around and then shoot them in their exposed flesh points. Yeah, so I think I would... what I would do is I would make it so that the time it takes for hunters to turn around would be reduced, because that was always the main strat. It's kind of like baiting a bull to charge you was the main strat for how to deal with hunters. You bait the hunter to charge you down, and then you attack its weak point in the back. But because the hunters turn around so insanely quickly, it's kind of hard to be able to do that successfully. So I think I would make that would be the core change I make to the hunters before to try to fix them. Well, not fix them, but make them slightly less. Oh god, I'm dead. Yep, I opened the TAC map of all things, because the way the controller is laid out, in moving my left thumb from the left stick to the D-pad where the equipment switcher is, I often end up accidentally pressing the TAC map on the way, or the back button, which is the TAC map button on the way. Jackal snipers are pissing me off. which is always frustrating to see whenever that happens. Oh. Also, have you ever had a problem where all the USB ports in your computer just disconnect at the exact same time?
No.
Because I experienced that last night when I was editing the video. I don't know why it happened, but just randomly while I was editing, my mouse, my keyboard, my Elgato Stream Deck, and all my USB ports, like all my flash drives and extra storage containers, I don't know, oh god, Jesus. They all just disconnected immediately, which is obviously frustrating because, for one thing, you can't do anything except hard restart your computer. Because you can't move the mouse to do anything, you can't use the command prompt with the keyboard, it was just frozen. Which means I also couldn't save my project before I close, which is part of the reason why I lost so much progress last night, because my computer didn't crash, but Vegas just shut itself, like, just froze down. And then obviously the fact that all my USB ports disconnected, so I couldn't try to fix it, made it even worse. I swear, technical problems are just the bane of my existence. I am so more frequently stinted by technical difficulties and things just not working properly than I am by any lack of motivation or creativity to do. Because the only thing that's ever really stopped me from wanting to make stuff is the things I'm trying to make being limited by the technology not cooperating with me. Because I can control basically everything about a way a piece of content is produced, except for whether the means through which I can make it are functioning properly. Because if my computer is slowing down constantly and stuttering and crashing and freezing, or if Vegas is corrupt and a file is broken, or if my capture card is acting up on me, if any of that stuff happens, it just immediately kills my motivation to want to do anything with recording. Because I can't... there's something I can do about that, like I can try to troubleshoot problems, but when I eventually run out of ways to troubleshoot things, and it just... The biggest example of that was when I made my 5K Q&A video. I was close to getting it done, and then it just randomly, like, crashed. Or not crashed, but the file was corrupted. And it was... Well, Jesus Christ, the shade turret is a massive pain in the ass. It wasn't even that the file was corrupted, it was that the file was corrupted and all my backups, because I make backups while I'm editing to try to prevent stuff like this from happening, and Vegas also has auto backups that are generated as you edit to try to prevent you from losing too much in the event of something going horribly, horribly wrong. But that was of no use to me, because all the backups were also corrupt. I don't know what caused it, I have no idea. I tried every trick in the book to try to fix it, and it just wasn't happening. So that is the most defeating feeling in the world, when there's absolutely nothing you can do except just either quit or start over again. Because all the progress you made is lost forever, and no amount of troubleshooting can fix it. Which sucks. But, you know, such is life when you operate with... Oh dear God. When you operate with technology on a daily basis, that's just... You're just bound to encounter problems like this somewhat consistently. Which is unfortunate. That was the worst grenade I've ever thrown in my life. I wish things weren't as prevalent as they are, but unfortunately... Technology is great until it stops working, is the best way to put it. Can I hijack the shade turret? Oh, I can. Great. Get out of here. Stop tearing me down. Stay back there. Oh, there's a sniper. There's a sniper. Oh, good. Oh, good. Nope. Move. 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 Oh, boy. Well, at least I killed the shade turret. I am running low on ammo. Have you done the shade turret or the anti-air gun at the north of the map yet?
No.
Are you still at the east one, or have you gone on to the west one?
I don't know which one I'm at. I'm just barely scraping by.
Are you fighting the hunters, or are you doing something else?
I already killed the hunters.
Okay.
I'm just annoyed.
I know that feeling. I was very annoyed last time when we did the conservatory mission. I was very drained in my desire to keep going. Like, every time I've played that conservatory mission, I've just lost all desire. That's usually the point where I stop. Like, when I did my live streams, that was the point where I stopped, because I just didn't want to keep going. It was the same thing with every single playthrough I've ever done of this game. That's always my stopping point, because it's such a draining experience after, because it's the back, oh, sniper, stop it. It's the back-to-back experience of, oh, is that a, I'll take, that's not what I wanted that. It's the back-to-back experience of the skimmer wave defense room, where there's a million gajillion shock weapons, followed up immediately with the two, you know those two scrap cannon brutes at the end?
Yeah.
Yeah, they just have, they're just massive bullet sponges. They have so much health, and I don't know why. They have so much health, and the rate at that, I think one scrap cannon brute would have been enough. One was perfectly acceptable, but the fact that there's two just makes it almost unbearable, because you're dealing with so much just constantly being flung in your direction. But at least we made it through that, because I'm pretty confident about the rest of this game. That was the one mission I was, well, actually, I'm not super confident about the end of the game, like the final gauntlet of bosses with Jaeger, Adamni, Eshtram, and the Harbinger. That I'm still oh, I guarantee you my checkpoint is not good. I just got outplayed by an elite. I guarantee you the checkpoint is gonna suck. It's taking a long time to load. It's gonna, well, could be better, I guess. Or, sorry, could be worse, I should say. I was expecting a much worse checkpoint than this. This is fine. It only put me a little bit behind. Dear God. Okay. Let's try this again, shall we? I keep forgetting I'm out of... I'm carrying around a battle rifle with no ammo in it, which is not helping me at all. Where's that sniper? Oh, there he is. Alright, let's try to get some dynamo grenades working here to our advantage if I can throw them well. That was not thrown well at all. Oh, actually, I surprisingly nailed it. Cool. I think the west gun is probably the easiest one. The north gun is the second. It probably goes east, north, west in terms of which one's the hardest, because the east one is the one that has the 2 hunters. The north one is the one that just has so many enemies, the shade turrets and the ghosts, and then the west one isn't all that bad. It's probably why it was shown off. Probably why that was the one that was shown off for the gameplay showcase, because they knew it was going to be the easiest one. So that, because they didn't want to show off something that was too complicated. They probably also wanted to make sure they could capture good footage of it. Because sometimes the people who make the games aren't super great at it, which is fine, ultimately. I guess I can ask you that. What do you think about the idea of a game developer who... Do you think someone can be good at designing games, even though they may not necessarily be super skilled at the games they design?
Yeah.
Yeah, because some people believe that in order to be able to make a game, you have to be somewhat proficient at what you play. And I can kind of understand that method of thinking, but at the same time, someone can have a mastery of the actual mechanics that make up how a game is designed, while still lacking the physical reflexes or skills or mental knowledge necessary for how to actually perform well in the game itself. Did I just waste all my... Oh, I just wasted my kinetic refill on the damn bulldog is what I did. That's unfortunate. And you actually mentioned Siege. I'm assuming you're referring to the development of Siege when you said that? Yeah. That applies as well. But I would also say, in terms of the competitive scene, there's some of the best esports coaches aren't the best in terms of actually playing them, but they have the mental knowledge of what consists of a good player and all that. So they know how to teach the players and how to get the best performance out of them that they possibly can, even if they themselves are not super skilled at the games that they are coaching. So I definitely think mastery of design and mastery of gameplay are two different things. I mean, of course, it helps to be able to actually beat the game you make, but I don't think you have to be a god at it to be able to design it competently. Alright, I'm getting my second Eshtram speech. So I have 2 guns down and then 1 more to go after this.
Good for you.
I'm guessing we're probably not going to be able to get through this entire mission in this video, because we're at about 50 minutes right now. So we'll probably go until we hit around an hour, and then we'll call off the video here. I'm definitely not going to get to the boss fight, because there's that really annoying boss fight against the 2 Spartan killers, Hyperius and Tavares, I think. That might be my least favorite fight of the entire game, I'm not sure. Or at least my least favorite boss fight. Least favorite fight is either the Skimmer Wave Defense Room in Conservatory or the double scrap cannon fight at the end of Conservatory. They're both from Conservatory, surprisingly. Okay.
Spartan killers are coming for you. It is your time to rise.
Yeah, they're coming for me, alright, Eshram, but they're not gonna be able to do well.
Really? Everyone is trying to kill you. I'm done here. Now it's your turn.
I was gonna say they're not gonna be able to do much to me, but then I thought about it. It's like, actually, they're gonna be a pretty challenging boss fight to do. Okay, any ammo for me? Sure isn't. There sure is not. All I need is an audio log here, and then I can move on. I have 1 gun left to go, and I saved. The thing is, I saved the hardest one for last, because I did all the ones except the hunter battle. So oh hey Runs, how's life? I still have to kill the 2 hunters before I can move on, and. Yeah, there's the audio log right there. Gimme. Also, have you been taking the elevators up, or have you been finding alternate ways to get up top?
See, I was gonna find another way to go up top, but then the guy shot me, and I just decided to just kill him.
Fair enough. I took the elevator to go up to the west turret, and I'm gonna... but I didn't take the one to go up to the north turret. I went up along the mountainside, and now I'm just going back. I'm getting the jump on all of it, because there's still a bunch of guys guarding the elevator. I'm getting the jump on them by just, by just starting from up on top and then jumping down below. Hi, Jackal. So I'm essentially going in reverse order, but it's working out. How many Spartan cores? Actually, I shouldn't. I was gonna check how many Spartan cores I have. Shouldn't do that. Until I pulled a blast coil toward me, expecting it would go through the drop shield. Evidently, it did not do that. Did not go through the drop shield. Come here, brute. My aim is crap. Okay. Should have 2 audio logs left, I think. Yep, 2 audio logs left. And then I'm almost done. Alright. Oh, I should probably get a... Needler? Do I want a needler? Nah, I'm good with what I have, actually. I am good with what I have. Yeah, I have not... Oh, I just jumped off the edge of the map is what I just did. I tried to grapple up, and it did not work out well for me. Oh! And this checkpoint places me before the entire battle is what it does. Okay. That's less than ideal. That is very undesirable. Well, guess we're fighting this again. Ugh. I'm guessing I'll probably... I don't know if I'll be able to beat the 200s before the episode's... Oh, God. Over. I'll probably at least be able to get to them. What's this achievement for? Run, rabbit, run. Use thruster 50 times. Okay. I suppose so. I think I used the grenades in the wrong order there. Ain't it work. Whew. Let's try the coil throwing strat again. No, don't open the threat or the attack map. Keep accidentally opening the attack map. It's getting me screwed over. Okay. Can I get a checkpoint this time, please? Maybe? Probably not. No, that's fine. Alright, gimme plasma ammo, gimme kinetic ammo. And that is gonna have to do for now. Okay, now I should be able to safely check what Spartan cores I have. What are you prioritizing with Spartan core upgrades?
Nothing currently.
No. Well, what's the next one you think you're gonna want to upgrade?
Either shield or threat sensor.
Okay, so I think I've just confirmed the. Remember how I was talking to you about my theory in terms of why the Spartan cores are so bugged? Like how you can, yeah, so I think I've confirmed it, but not, so it's definitely this mission. It's this mission specifically that the Spartan cores are bugged for, but it's not the specific Spartan core I was thinking of, because I just magically got 6 Spartan cores out of nowhere when I definitely have not gotten that many, I don't think. And then it also upgraded both of my Spartan, it gave me, because I only selected the level 3 upgrade for the thruster, not the level 4 upgrade, but it upgraded both of them for me anyway. So it's definitely this specific mission that's bugged in terms of Spartan cores. I don't know why, but the fact that it's happened to me every single time in the exact same mission, I think is complete confirmation that that's exactly what's happening here. It just happened so subtle I didn't even notice it in my first playthrough. It's usually the one that's in the cave next to the hunters that screws me over, but not this time. Okay, can this jackal please? Thank you. Taking another Spartan core. Just out of curiosity, do you think that messes with my Spartan core total too? Yup, okay. It is bugged. Because I just used all my Spartan cores, meaning I had none left. I just picked up a new one, which is the one at the hunter, at the east gun where you fight the 2 hunters. I picked up that one there, and it just gave me 2 Spartan cores for the price of 1. So it's absolutely this mission Spartan cores. I don't know if it's that each Spartan core here gives you 2 of them, but it's something like that. I mean, I guess you can. Have you noticed that? Have you gotten any of the Spartan cores in this mission so far?
Yeah, I've gotten 2 or 3.
Have you kept track of how if it's been impacting your total in an inconsistent way?
Not really, because I haven't been using Spartan cores, so I wouldn't even be able to tell.
Fair enough. Because I think it's happened to me every time I play this mission, so I think at this point it's all but confirmed that it's definitely this mission that it's bugged for. Which is weird. Because it seems very deliberate that there's exactly 45 Spartan cores, and you need exactly 45 Spartan cores to on paper, you would need exactly 45 Spartan cores to upgrade everything, because obviously it takes 9 to upgrade 1, then there's 5 Spartan core, or there's 5 equipment upgrades, and then 9 times 5 is 45. So it's clearly bugged, it's just weird that it's bugged in the way that it is. Okay. I think I'll probably battle these hunters, and then we'll call the video off, if that works for you.
Okay, that's fine.
Are you having any more luck over on your end of things?
I got the second one now, and I'm just on the way to the third one.
Which one did you save for last?
The one on the far left.
Okay, so yeah, that'll be that should be a pretty easy one then. So we were actually pretty much in sync, all things considered, because I did the easier ones first, and now I've saved the hardest one for last, which is the battle against the hunters. I'm guessing from what I didn't see your footage obviously, but from what I could tell, it sounded like they gave you a bit of a problem.
They gave me an extreme amount of pain.
Yeah, so I'm guessing this is probably gonna even us out, because I'm gonna be stuck here for quite a while, I can imagine. So we might actually get to that might be the start of the next video, is us fighting the Spartan killers. Oh god. Oh, question, did you take out the snipers before or after you battled the hunters?
No clue.
Because I took care of them first and foremost. Because the snipers make this a bit more challenging. Oh god. Okay, well, there's my first death to the hunters. Please be a good checkpoint. Please be a very good checkpoint. Sure isn't. It's actually quite a crap checkpoint. It's before I kill the 2 snipers. So that's not ideal. Oh well. Anything else I can take out before I engage the hunters again? Let's try to shoot you guys down. Let me threat sensor in advance. I didn't want to shoot that. I have 2 plasma grenades. Alright, that's gonna have to do for now. Give me this weapon. Let's go. The thing is, I actually managed to kill one of the hunters, but then the second one got me, because once you kill one, the second one just goes absolutely insane. As is the case with hunters, when their partner dies, the other one goes berserk. Okay, do I have any, can I grab? That's probably not something I can easily grab. Alright, let me go back for some more ammo. At least their health doesn't recharge. That's the bright side. At least their health doesn't actually recharge. Oh no. They've left the vicinity of the threat sensor. I can't tell how much health they have. Please. Thank you. Okay. Well, there's one. Can I get a checkpoint? I'd love a checkpoint after that. No. You're not gonna give me one, are you, game? I don't think the game's gonna give me a checkpoint. Ugh. At least the invisibility is helping me out somewhat. Or the cloak and the thruster. Oh, no. Can I get him to chase me into the cave? Oh, I sure can. Oh my god, he's chasing me into the cave. Oh my Jesus Christ, I didn't know he could come in here. He actually chased me into the damn cave.
What?
Okay, but...
What?
Yeah, what's up over there?
These enemies respawn. I literally just killed them, they respawn.
Ugh. Well, if you already killed them, then you don't have to fight them again, but I imagine the problem is that there's probably too many of them to easily bypass.
Yes.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Oh boy. Are there any things I can grab? Here, give me that. I said give me this. Where'd he go? Hold on, there's something behind me, there's something behind me. Oh, I'll take that needler. Oh, he's coming in fast. Pretty sure there's more than just him here. Alright, give me that needler. I didn't want to grapple. Nope, I'm dead. Yep, I just made too many mistakes. I made too many dumb mistakes there. That was just a cavalcade of idiocy is what I just did right there. Ah, I mentioned this before. This is pretty much the only game I've ever played where I've actually contemplated getting an Elite controller, because it'd be so nice to be able to easily switch between the equipment with the paddles in the back. It'd be very nice to be able to do that. But sadly... Oh no! Give me that. Sorry, I'm trying to focus on conversation and fighting this hunter right now, which is consuming. God, he follows you so closely. He's just on your tail constantly. What is that? It's the same grunt that I killed before. Drop wall. Alright, give me that. Good. Can we take a chill pill, Hunter, please? Have we considered a chill pill? Maybe? Oh my god.
Through a tree, man.
Where's that other needler? Gimme. Thanks for the ammo. Oh my god, thank Christ. Okay. Hunters are finally dead. Now I need to just not make any stupid mistakes that are gonna get me killed between now and deactivating the final turret. Okay. Do I want this gravity hammer? Probably not. But I might want this rocket launcher. That I might actually want. I'll hold on to this just in case.
There we go. Last gun open.
Alright.
So,
How close are you to activating the turret?
okay for you to make it.
Not close.
Okay. So I think we'll probably end the episode because I'm in the final Eshram speech right now, so I think we'll probably end after this, and then we'll pick up next time with the finishing up Pelican Down, and that takes us into the sequence, which is the longest mission in the entire game, because it's just, here's a massive open world, go explore, and then do all the side quests along the way.
Back to the Pelican.
Oh, I forgot, Eshram doesn't actually give you a speech here, it's just you destroy the thing, because I missed the plasma grenade stick. Didn't miss that one, though. Usually Eshram gives you a speech after all the things, but for this one he doesn't. He leaves. Oh, there's a sniper I missed somewhere. Okay, this achievement is bugged. Let me know if when you play this, or when you take down the final turret, let me know if you get the achievement for taking down all 3 guns in 20 minutes. Because I just got that, and I got it on my first playthrough as well. But we've been recording for almost an hour, and it definitely did not take me 40 minutes to do the Spire mission, so pretty sure that achievement is bugged as hell.
I've lost his signal. If the Spartan killers find him,
That won't happen,
how can you be sure?
because they'll need to go through me first.
Love that line from the chief. Anyway, if you need more time to get to the gun, we can go a little longer, but if not, I am... Okay, so in that case, I'll just, I'll make my way back towards the area where the boss fight is, but I'll stop before I get there, and then we can pick up next time with the start of that boss battle. Just linger here a little while longer. Did I miss anything? Oh, there's a sniper up there, huh? Not anymore, there isn't. Few stray grunts. 1 elite. Yeah. Alright. Oh, let's not open the map now. Not time to open the map. Alright, did I get everything? I sure did. Okay. Are we in the gun? Oh my god. I just got sniped. There are so many snipers guarding this final anti-air gun. There's just an insane amount of them.
Okay, I'm good. You could...
Alright, then we'll end the episode here, because I just died and got averted to a checkpoint, so it's a good stopping point. Anyway, that'll be it for now. Thank you all for watching. Stay tuned for next time. Until then, this has been a GamingMagic13
and GroupUnicorn71.
I hope to catch you all next time for some more Halo Infinite Versus. Goodbye.